In today's fast-paced world, women often juggle multiple roles. We are mothers, daughters, partners, friends, and professionals. It is easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of responsibilities and neglect our own needs. But self-care is not selfish. It is essential. It is about prioritizing our well-being and setting healthy boundaries. This allows us to show up as our best selves in all aspects of life. Imagine a world where women feel empowered to say no without guilt. A world where we set clear limits, protect our energy, and prioritize our mental health. This is not a fantasy. It is a choice. It starts with recognizing our inherent worthiness. We deserve to live authentically and set boundaries that honor our values and needs. Self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Just like we fuel our bodies with nutritious food, we must nourish our minds and spirits. This means prioritizing activities that bring us joy, reduce stress, and promote inner peace. Whether it is a long walk in nature, a relaxing bath, or simply saying no to an obligation, self-care is about making conscious choices that support our well-being. When we prioritize our well-being, we set a powerful example for others. Our daughters see us valuing ourselves, and our sons learn the importance of respecting boundaries. By embracing self-care, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves. We inspire others to do the same and create a more compassionate and empathetic world. Personal boundaries are the limits we set for ourselves in relationships and interactions with others. They are the invisible lines that define what we will and will not accept. Boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about protecting ourselves. They are a way of communicating our needs and values to the world. Think of boundaries as a fence around your property. The fence does not exist to keep people out, but to define where your property begins and ends. Similarly, personal boundaries help us define our personal space, time, and energy. They allow us to choose who and what we allow into our lives. Boundaries can be physical, emotional, or intellectual. Physical boundaries relate to our personal space, touch, and privacy. Emotional boundaries involve our feelings, thoughts, and opinions. They protect us from emotional dumping, criticism, and manipulation. Intellectual boundaries relate to our ideas, beliefs, and values. They allow us to engage in respectful dialogue without feeling the need to defend our perspectives. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It is a way of saying I matter and my needs are important. When we set boundaries, we are communicating to ourselves and others that we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. We are taking ownership of our lives and creating a space where we can thrive. Setting boundaries is not always easy, but the benefits are immeasurable. When we learn to say no to what does not serve us, we create space for what truly matters. We reclaim our time, energy, and emotional well-being. One of the most significant benefits of setting boundaries is improved mental health. When we constantly overextend ourselves and allow others to violate our boundaries, we experience stress, anxiety, and resentment. This can lead to burnout, depression, and a host of other mental health issues. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. They allow us to communicate our needs clearly and prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. When we have healthy boundaries, we attract people who respect us and our limits. We create relationships built on mutual trust, respect, and understanding. Setting boundaries also allows us to pursue our passions and live more fulfilling lives. When we are bogged down by obligations and commitments that drain our energy, we have little time or motivation to pursue our dreams. By setting boundaries, we free up time and energy to focus on what truly brings us joy. Finding your voice. Practical tips for setting boundaries. Setting boundaries can feel daunting, especially if we are not used to asserting ourselves. But it is a skill that can be learned and honed over time. Here are some practical tips to help you find your voice and set healthy boundaries. Start small. You do not have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Begin by setting small boundaries in situations where you feel most comfortable. For example, you could start by saying no to a social engagement that you do not want to attend. Be clear and direct. When setting boundaries, it is crucial to be clear and direct in your communication. Avoid being vague or apologetic. Use I statements to express your needs and limits. For example, you could say, I appreciate you asking, but I need some time to myself this evening. Listen to your body. Our bodies are wise and will often signal when a boundary has been crossed. Pay attention to your physical and emotional sensations. Do you feel tense, anxious, or resentful? These are all signs that a boundary may need to be set. Practice makes perfect. Setting boundaries is a skill that takes practice. Do not get discouraged if you find it challenging at first. The more you assert your needs, the easier it will become. Real-life boundaries. Examples for everyday situations. Boundaries are not one-size-fits-all. They are as unique as the individuals who set them. Here are some real-life examples of boundaries that you can adapt to your own life-work-life balance. Set clear boundaries between work and personal time. Establish specific work hours and stick to them as much as possible. Avoid checking work emails or taking work calls outside of those hours. Social media. Limit your time on social media and be mindful of the content you consume. Unfollow accounts that trigger negative emotions or make you feel inadequate. Use social media to connect with people and activities that bring you joy. Family dynamics. Set boundaries with family members who tend to be overbearing, critical, or disrespectful. This may involve limiting contact, setting time limits for visits, or declining requests that you are not comfortable with. Romantic relationships. Communicate your needs and expectations clearly with your partner. Discuss boundaries around finances, time spent together, and emotional intimacy. Respect and reciprocity boundaries in relationships. Boundaries are not just about saying no, they are also about creating healthy and respectful relationships. When we set boundaries, we invite others to do the same. We create a space where everyone feels safe to express their needs and be their authentic selves. Respecting other people's boundaries is just as important as setting our own. It means listening to their needs and limits, even if we do not fully understand them. It means accepting their no gracefully and without guilt-tripping or trying to change their minds. Reciprocity is also crucial in relationships with healthy boundaries. Both parties should feel comfortable expressing their needs and having those needs respected. If one person is constantly setting boundaries, while the other is not, it can create an imbalance of power and resentment. Embrace your power, a future defined by you. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love and empowerment. It is a way of taking control of our lives and creating a future that aligns with our values and aspirations. When we set boundaries, we free ourselves from the expectations and demands of others. We give ourselves permission to prioritize our well-being and pursue our passions without guilt or apology. Embrace the power of no. It is not a negative word. It is a complete sentence that can liberate us from obligations that no longer serve us. It is a word that allows us to say yes to ourselves, our dreams, and a life filled with joy.